Hey y'all, Bay here, bringing you Captain Tsubasa Dream Team, and today I would like to go over 2019 all the Dream Fest from January because we're about to welcome the November Fest in like few days, right? So including my guests for the November Fest and also December. Let's look back to what came in the past in 2019. Okay, let's go. I think I know there's many people that recently started or like people that's been playing but forgot what came during 2019. So let's go over everything again, and it might be help to predict our Dreamfest for November and December. Okay, so starting off from January, do you guys remember what came? The very first Dreamfest for 2019, it was Wakabayashi, Fest Wakabayashi. When this first came, we all got super hyped because there was never any GK Dreamfest, plus it's Wakabayashi. Many people that started the game, I think, started off with raising SGGK from the JY Wakabayashi. So many people probably wanted him because it was, you'll be able to give that to this Wakabayashi and you could use this guy from level 99 right away. Because at that time, they weren't spreading so many black balls like today. So it was really hard for us to start a new goalkeeper from scratch. But if it's Wakabayashi, we can already utilize what we have been raising. So, everybody was really excited when this was first announced. And so this guy was the January Dreamfest. And he still is one of the top tier goalie today. Okay? So that was January. And then came Wakashimazu. This guy still is like number one goalkeeper up to date. And the reason why this guy's so strong is not only because his stats is so strong, but also because there's so many Japanese player users. And this guy is strong against Asia, including Japan. So that's one of the reasons why he's strong. And also another reason is because he's a punch goalie. Punch goalie is good because it's more stamina efficient compared to catch. And at that time, in early 2019, because club wasn't spreading so many black balls, not many users were able to raise both starter goalie and bench goalie, right? So this guy, because he's a punch goalie, he was able to last the entire game easily, unlike Wakabayashi or other catch goalies. Because catch goalies, if the opponent keeps shooting at you, you'll lose the stamina, and at the end you had to switch to another goalie who wasn't raised. But for him, if you have just this Wakashimazu, you were able to play the entire full game without thinking about the bench. So that's two reasons why this guy is so strong, and he's still one of the best, or I think he's the best goalie today. Okay, so this was February. And then in March, January, February, they brought two goalies in a row, despite the fact that they never brought any goalie in the past as a fest. But, so we all thought maybe they'll bring like Mueller in March, but then they didn't. Actually, what they brought was, not you, Ishizaki. Fest Ishizaki. And another thing that was awkward this time was, this Ishizaki came as skill, green. That was awkward because up until this time, most of the times, Dreamfest was in a rotation, red, green, blue, red, green, blue. I forgot the order, but it was like that. But then with this Ishizaki, that formula, something went wrong. January, green Wakabayashi came. February, blue Wakashimazu came, and then March, green Ishizaki again. So what happened to red, So we were like, what? It's not red and it's not goalie. What the hell? But then this Ishizaki, he is good. Look at his defensive stats. It's 24k without passive, and with passive, he's gonna be really strong, like 26k. And since he's so strong at both tackle and block, if you can give him new face block, and like me, I'm doing level 99 new face block, and he already has S tackle as main skill, he could mainly like do everything defense. So this guy is still up to date, really strong. Many people's green Japanese starter. So yeah, this guy came out in March. And then in April, who came? So 3 in a row, it was Japanese. So the people who were using non-Japanese team were like arguing, saying, what happened to the non-Japanese, you know? And finally they brought non-Japanese. But it wasn't what we all expected because it was Espadas. And at that time, the team skill was South America Link or like South America team skills. And this guy is Central America. So he couldn't get these buffs, like Roberto buffs. But today, after October, they made a big update where these Mexican characters will now be included in Latin America. They changed the South America to Latin America so that they could include these Mexican characters. So after this, finally, Espadas is at the same level as Wakashimazu Wakabayashi. But the thing is, because this update came recently, not many people have raised his skill yet. So we are still, we don't see many Espadas users yet, but I think there's gonna be more as time goes on. Yeah. So now I think this guy is one of the best goalie. Yeah. Together with Wakabayashi and Wakashimazu. And his red. There's not many red OP goalies, so this guy is really useful when it comes to red team. Okay. So that was April. And then May. What happened to the Europeans? What happened to the Europeans? Are they gonna bring it in May? No, they didn't. What they brought was Tachibana Twin. So Masao is the offensive part of the twin, and then Kazuo was the defensive side. They both can do triple position, forward, OMF, and DMF, which is good. But then, you know, if you look at their stats, Masao was really, no, not this, edgy on offense. So although he can do DMF, many people used him as, or are using him as forward or AM, right? And because this guy has very good for high and low ball, this guy's shot like Skylab Hurricane or Skylab Twin, these are like the top tier shot even today. Even today, this Masao is like one of the best shooter in the game still today. That's how strong. And Kazuo, to be honest, Kazuo is not as good as Masao because he doesn't get the advantage from the very good because he's defensive. But still, as a defender, this guy, or DM, this guy is really strong. Really strong. But the thing about these Tachibana Twin is that you have to have both of them. You have to put, and plus Jito. So it's really hard to use. So you didn't have to have both Fest, but if you're gonna use Masao Fest, you needed to have either Fest Kazuo or like 2018 Kazuo or whoever in order for you to utilize the character. So that's the hard part about Tachibana, but still, these guys are still one of the best characters today. And what came in June? So they went back to Japan. What happened to Europe? Are they gonna bring Europe ever? And then 1 year and 2 year and Japanese app anniversary came. And there was all these 97 characters with these new team skills, the solidarity or the what is it called? I forgot, but the 17%. But they only brought Japanese for those. So many European users went insane. Of course, I understand. It's unfair. So at least Dreamfest, will they bring European? No, they didn't. They brought Tsubasa and Diaz. And this Tsubasa, of course, you don't need any explanation, is OP. Really the best offensive character in the game. Although he's AM, he is better than any forward. His overall shooting stats with Ultimate Skydive is 84k. And there's no other character, I think, that exceeds 80k. So this guy is super strong. Okay? And Diaz. Diaz is not as strong as Tsubasa because of the shooting skill difference. This guy's banana shot is 490 at level 99, whereas Tsubasa's ultimate skydive is 525. But that needs Misaki together. But still, it's strong, right? But this Diaz, when it comes to full power time, this guy is super strong. Look at his stats. It's like Tsubasa. When the full power is on, because he he was strong anywhere, unlike Tsubasa. You know, he was strong anywhere when the full power is on. And this guy has S dribble, S pass, S shot. So if you're able to raise all these, then you're like unstoppable. This DS is like unstoppable. So this is how strong this DS is. So this Tsubasa and DS, no doubt, they are super OP. And then in July, finally they brought Euro. Who is it? Zeno Hernandez. This guy finally came. Many European users were waiting for a good, super strong, top tier goalie, and finally they brought it. Of course, 2018 Mueller was still like top tier at the time. Well, he still is now, but you know, he was only agility, so many people needed other goalie that is strong. And finally they brought Zeno, and this guy is the top tier goalie today, one of the best goalie. The reason is because he's not only good as if you look at the stats, but also his passive is good. It only raises 12% compared to like Wakabayashi Wakashimazu, who had 15. It's less, but it's less means, you know, his original stat is higher. Plus, this guy's passive is, you know, it'll be activated against anybody who shoots ground shots. So you have to in order for you to score off this guy, you need to shoot flying shot, which is not easy because many people came with ground shot. You know, many people raised ground shots, but not many raised flying shots. So it's hard. Of course, you know, some characters like Hyuga or I don't know who, but can score off this guy even with ground shots. But your chances will get lower. You know, so this guy is strong. So finally in July they brought a European fest. Finally, and this guy is OP. Many people who's using European team is putting this Zeno as a main goalie, and together with that Red Gentile, he gets buffed with the hidden ability, so this guy's really strong. And then in August, so now finally Europeans turn. They brought Chester and Margus. So for Margus, this guy is one of the best shooter in the game when it comes to highball. This guy's original stats with highball is the best out of including everyone, even the super fast Tsubasa. He's better. But the thing is, this guy's skill is not that great. His best skill is 455 at level 99. That is a high angle header, which is S shooting skill. So he has very good for highball, so it matches. So if you raise that high angle header level 99, then this guy's shooting stats will become like almost 80k. That is really close to Tsubasa. So this guy is strong. So yeah, as a shooter, finally they brought someone that could defeat Wakashimazu, because this guy does not give Wakashimazu a passive boost, and this guy's already strong shooter. Plus, he's a flying ball shooter, which means he can also score off Zeno. So this guy's strong. Yeah. And then also came together with him Chester. So this Chester, he is also really good because he's a midfielder. He can do AM and DM. And look at his stats. It's not like super edgy like Margus, but he can do anything offense when he's in midfield, because he's a midfield mid-area master, 12%. So yeah, and this guy's skill, dribble, is 475. So you know, this guy is now a really good midfielder character. I think one of the top tier character in the game. Yeah. So that was August, and what came in September was Clivert, Blue Clivert. This one right here. So was this guy good? Is this guy good? Well, yes, he is good. Look at his stats. It's like Super Fest Tsubasa Diaz. It's the same level. Plus, his passive is a little bit unique. But if you win matchup 3 times, maximum 3 times, it gets buffed 5% by 5%. So at the end, if you can do 3 times, it's 15% buff. And as a result, he's going to be an OP shooter. Or he can do anything. And what was also good was his main skill is 1-2 that doesn't need anybody as a partner. So unlike before from the Dream Collection, he had like a Netherlands combination, but you needed to put all the Netherlands characters, which is not good, right? But with this, he can now do 1-2 dribble and shot at a really high level, and because his passive is matchup win bonus, you wanted to keep the ball. You didn't, if he had like S pass, you have to give it to someone once, right? And then afterwards, someone might lose the ball, and then this guy's matchup win will start from scratch. But then because he has 1-2, he can give the make the opponent like decide which to do, go tackle or interception, right? So this is really it really links to his passive, and this guy's really OP. Yeah. And finally, last month in October came Pascal and Victorino. Are these guys good? Well, of course these guys are good. All the Dream Fests are really good. And Pascal and Victorino, his passive is recover, so he doesn't get the passive boost, but his original stats are really edgy, especially on shot and speed. So with this, wherever you're at, whoever you're against, you maintain the stat. So that's the strength about this guy. And although he doesn't get the passive boost, because his shot is so edgy, he gets like 63 or 4k with this guy's new shot without passive boost. So that's strong. That is strong. I think this guy, I haven't tried, but I think he can score off Wakashimazu or Wakashimazu. That's how strong I think he is. And I think you can use him as a defender as well, because this guy's speed is so fast that his press against the opponent defender is, he gets to the opponent so quick that I think the opponent will be panicked. And because this guy has S tackle and A interception, you will be able to, get the ball off opponent defender. So this guy, there's ways to use him, I think. Yeah. And then, last but not least, it was Pascal. Right here. So this guy, he's not as edgy as Victorino, but still he's good because he's European killer. So against European, he is super strong. And he has invisible volley shot, which is a flying shot. So he is a killer for especially against Zeno. And of course he can score off Wakashimazu as well. I was using him and he was able to score off Wakashimazu even though he doesn't get the passive boost, because Wakashimazu doesn't get the passive boost either. Yeah, and this guy has good for low ball. So look at his stats. It's really balanced for offense. So this guy is really, really strong. So as you can see, all the Dream Fest that came in 2019 are still top tier today. And they're all strong, although they don't have hidden ability. They're really strong. Really strong. So, and there's not, I couldn't find a really big pattern looking at all the past Dream Fest this year. But one thing I was able to find was, although Dream Collection, they release like variety of characters from like JY or WY or club even, or but then for Dream Fest, if you look back, it's all WY or JY. It's all JY or WY. So I assume November Fest will also be either WY or JY. Yeah, that's my assumption. And also, there's been 6 Japanese so far, 4 South Latin American, and 4 European. And my prediction is December is global second year round. So I assume something big, Super Dream Fest, will come in December. And that might be new character like Mikao, right? If you think about that, maybe this month it's not going to be European. And my guess is, if it is to be South American or Latin American, I want it to be Salinas, because although Espadas now is included in Latin America, I think many people have been raising Salinas as a goalie for South American team. So if a Salinas Dream Fest comes, then those skills can be utilized, right? Whereas Espadas, people has to raise him from scratch. So it's hard to use Espadas, to be honest. So I assume if it is to be Latin America, I want it to be Salinas. Or if not, if it's European, I want it to be Schneider, because although Schneider in manga is like one of the top tier character, look at him now. I don't see many people scoring with Schneider anymore, because there's not been so many good Schneiders recently. Well, recent Club Schneider is pretty good, but still, you know, there's no Dream Fest for a long time. So yeah, I want it to be Salinas or Schneider. That's my opinion. Yeah. So the video is now exceeding 20 minutes, so I'm gonna end here. But I hope you like the video. Let's do all the prediction. You know, let's get excited because we're almost celebrating the second year end. Plus, before that, there's gonna be Dreamfest, and as you can see, as you saw, as you heard, all the Dreamfest that came out this year are still top tier. So it's gotta be strong. It's gotta be strong. Yeah. So I hope you liked the video. Please do subscribe for those who haven't yet, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and bye.